Page 1. Introduction. The concept of area. Towards the end of the 18th century, when William Jones discovered that Sanskrit was similar to Greek, Latin, and other European languages, it was postulated that the Aryans lived in an area either in Central Asia or Eastern Europe. They were supposed to have descended from the same racial stock. This concept prevailed in the 19th century and was used as a powerful political weapon in Nazi Germany during the anti-Jewish campaign launched by Hitler.
After 1933, it was declared that the German people constituted a pure Aryan race.
In the Nazi view, they occupied the highest place among the Aryans and hence were entitled to hegemony over the world. But scholars who have studied the Aryan problem deeply have come to the conclusion that those speaking the same language need not necessarily belong to the same racial or ethnic stock. Most scholars now think in terms of a Proto-Indo-European language rather than one single race.
Page 2.
In the discussion of the Indo-European problem, several terms are used. The Indo-Europeans are called Aryans, although the term Arya is found mainly in the Eastern Indo-European languages. This term may indicate the culture shared by the Avesta and the Rig Veda. The two terms, Indo-Iranian and Indo-Aryan, are frequently employed. The term Indo-Iranian is used to signify the undifferentiated language which has spoken by the Aryans comprising the Indians and Iranians before their separation. Moreover, Indo-Iranian is taken to mean the joint community of the Indian and Iranian Aryans. Additionally, Indo-Iranian is considered a language only of Iran, to which its speakers belong. However, we use this term in a wider sense, which also includes the Indic speech and people. The term Indo-Aryan means the speech and its speakers who appear in India. Sometimes the term Proto-Indian is used to denote the same. There is some confusion about the use of the words Iranian and Indic. The first indicates the Aryans who came to Iran, and the second, Sanskrit and its speakers who came to India. Additionally, the term Proto-Indo-Aryan is used to signify the Indo-European language that appears in Kassite and Mitanni inscriptions. Another term, Proto-Indo-Iranian, is also used to indicate the language that was spoken by both the Indians and the Europeans when they are thought to have lived together.
Page 3.
The term Proto-Indo-European indicates the language constructed on the basis of cognate words found in the Indo-European languages.
Footnote 1.
The term Arya appears in several Indo-European languages, but not in most of them. O. Zemerini has studied all the arguments relating to the term Arya and has come to the conclusion that this term is not Indo-European but a Near Eastern, probably Ugaritic loan word meaning kinsman or companion. However, the term Arya is found in ancient texts belonging to the eastern branch of the ancient Indo-European languages. It occurs in both the Rig Veda and the Avesta. The term Iran itself is connected with the term Arya. Since Afghanistan was occupied by the Indo-Aryans and the Iranian Aryans for some time, a part of this country came to be known as Araya, within inverted commas, A, capital A, Raiya, or within inverted commas, Haraiva, capital Haraiva. In the 6th century BC, King Darius of Persia called himself an Aryan. In the Rig Veda, the term Arya connotes a cultural community. Speakers of both the Indo-Aryan and the Indo-Iranian languages are called Aryans. The Avesta mentions the country of the Aryans where Zoroastrianism began. This might indicate the Arya or Aryana mentioned by classical writers. It covered a large area including Afghanistan and a part of Persia and Media. It also includes parts of Bactria and Sogdia in its north. Page 4. Megasthenes speaks the Aryanois, within inverted commas, capital Arianois. I repeat, Aryanois, as one of the 3 peoples inhabiting the countries adjacent to India. The term Arya also occurs in the Hittite language, in which it signifies kinsman or friend. Some scholars also link the name island with the term Arya. A word cognate to Arya occurs in German as well, but not in any other West Indo-European language. The Indo-European society, those who possessed horses and chariots, enjoyed social hegemony, but it could be incorrect to infer that in all situations the term Arya means master or person of aristocratic class. In the Finnish language, the term orja, within inverted commas, Orja, means slave, and it is derived from the word Arya. It appears that when the people of Finland subjugated their neighbors comprising the Indo-Europeans or the Aryans, they used the term orja in their own language to denote a slave. In the Rig Veda, the worshippers of Indra were called Arya. When this text speaks of the struggle between the Aryans on the one hand and the Dasas and the Dasyus on the other, it does not consider the former to be indigenous and the latter to be foreigners. The struggle takes place between 2 cultures, one observing the vrata and the other violating it. At that stage, there is no perception of India as a country or a nation, and therefore the labels of indigenous and foreigner do not arise. Indications of struggles between cultures and patterns of life, page 5, appear in both the Indian subcontinent and in Iran. The Gatha portion of the Avesta shows that in Iran the struggle went on between those who followed Zoroaster and those who opposed his teachings. The color of the skin is regarded as a test of identity. Some hymns of the Rig Veda show the Aryans to be a separate community. Their enemies are described as black-skinned. The Aryans are called Manushi Praja, who worshipped Agni,
Vaishvanara,
and who sometimes set fire to the houses of black-skinned people. It is stated that the Aryan god Soma killed black people. It is also stated that he fought the Rakshasas who had black skin and that he killed 50,000 Krishnas or blacks. He is believed to have removed the black skin of the Asura. In such references, the Aryans and their enemies are identified by the color of their skin. But Bailey argues that all the references to the term Arya in the Rig Veda cannot be taken in the sense of race or caste. This term is derived from the root ar, which means to obtain. The term Arya means master or a person of noble birth in the Avesta, and this meaning suits several references in the Rig Veda. Therefore, those leaders of the Vedic tribes who are lauded in the Rig Veda under the appellate of Arya were either prosperous or high-born. Page 6. Clearly, in the cattle-rearing society, they owed their prosperity to cattle wealth, which could be better accumulated and preserved by the horse-based aristocracy. The Rig Veda shows the existence of some ethnically mixed groups. 10 kings or tribal chiefs took part in the famous Battle of the 10 Kings. But in this battle, Aryan chiefs were not arrayed against non-Aryan chiefs. The names show that each warring party consisted of both Aryans and non-Aryans. Later, those who were honored and high-ranking or were of high birth came to be called Aryans. In later Vedic and post-Vedic times, the term Arya came to cover people of 3 higher varnas, who were also called Dvija, within inverted commas, Dvija, Dvija. The Sudras were never placed in the rank of the Aryans. The Aryans were considered to be free. The Sudras, on the other hand, were not free. According to Kautilya, the Aryaprana Sudra could not be reduced to the status of a dasa because the element of Aryatvam or Aryadam was inherent in him. Aryatvam, therefore, indicated a kind of civic freedom. It meant the Sudras who were born of Aryan parents were considered free. Their number was not large until Gupta times, but even in subsequent times, when they did gain in strength numerically, they continued to be regarded as non-Aryans by the Brahmanas and other members of higher orders.